Friday, everyone. I'm Ann Birchard. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we are going to take care of those extra strips that you have lying around your craft room. We're going to make this card using some rainbow, and this one is an image on top of the strips. This one is the image behind the strips. You cut out the window sheet with the strips on it, and then you cut out the butterfly and inlay it. So there are 4 ways to use up those strips. One with the image on top, one with the image below. 3, I have this mug says, I'm just going to wing it, pretty much my style on anything, where I save these offcuts, and it's great because I can use them for sentiments. I could cut it, I can make a fish tail. So this is great to have. You're not wasting any cardstock. Nice collection. And then the 4th way is to use these strips as a spacer. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's make a card. We're going to make this one with the inlay or the image on top. Let me set this aside. I'm using Pampered Pets, this little guy, and the coordinating die set. I'm going to start off with a sheet of window. Start off with a piece of window sheet. And don't forget your Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. We'll call this indigo and violet. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat and some Stampin' Seal. And before I forget, let me grab some dimensionals. There we go. All right, I'm going to start off with the red. Add a strip of Stampin' Seal. I'm using the silicone mat so that the adhesive won't ruin my workspace. And if you see my head in the way, so sorry. And I'm just lining this at the top. And I did not do a good job. That's a good thing with the window sheet. It's forgiving. There we go. Just taking off some of that adhesive. Now you could use one of these strips as a spacer. So your first line you've glued down. The second is your spacer. Then you could bring in your second permanent one, and then you remove the spacer. So then you have a 1/4 inch all the way down. For this card, I'm going to wing it and have, it's about 1/8 of an inch in between. Oh, there we go. Just eyeballing it. I'm not giving you the names of these colors because these are from my scraps. I think this one is So Saffron. This one is definitely Pumpkin Pie. This one, it's either Poppy Parade or Real Red. I don't know. Use what's in your scraps. And layer this down. If you haven't already done so, text ANNBIRCHARD, all one word, all uppercase, to the number 22828 to sign up for my monthly newsletter. Well, I give tips, tricks, and techniques, and any sales that Stampin' Up! May have. And when you sign up, you get a free in color ink pad of your choice. I think this is Highland Heather, and this one is Gorgeous Grape. Whoops. There we go. And it's stuck. I'm going to bring in my junk scissors here and trim this off. There we go. Now it's stuck to my hands. There we go. And then this side. Right. Now, on the back of this, I'm going to add the mini dimensionals. They are the perfect size to hide behind the strips because you don't want to see them from the front. And since my strips were 1/4 inch thick, this works out great. You want to make sure you get in the middle as well, so you don't want it crushed when it goes through the mail. Get in there. Now for the little dog, I am not going to glue him down because I will use this card to send sympathy when my friends lose one of their fur babies. And I will color this dog to match the coloring of their loved one that they lost. So I've already shown how to color in other videos. And you can head over there and watch. This is basic white. I cut it at 5 1/2. You can fold it in half or score it at 4 1/4. Get out your bone folder. Give it a nice crease. There we go. And then I'm going to add this towards the top. There we go. And you can embellish this as much as you want. Again, the purpose of this is just to show you how to use up those strips that you have lying around. So there's the first card. And again, I'll color this little guy to match the coloring of the last one. All right, let's move on to the second one. Now this one, pretty much the same technique. These strips are 1/2 inch wide and kind of did an ombre effect. Let's start building the background. So again, I have a piece of window sheet and I'm going to start in the center. And this one. And I just used some blues. I'm just eyeballing it. There's one. And I'll come back and trim off anything that's hanging over. To make it square, make sure that it's square. Line up this edge to the edge of the window sheet. Here's where you could use the spacers because that is uneven. Try again. Still needs to be closer. There we go. Much better. All right, and then I think these two are next. Right? Yep. Nope, this guy's next. Give it. Come on. There we go. Looks about right. I'll chop this off so I can put it on the other side. That was crooked. last one. Or I should say last two. For the month of May, Stampin' Up! Is having a special if you join my team. And that is you pay $99 and you get $155 worth of products, your choice from the catalogs. And then after that, you get a 20% discount on everything, even the sale items. So if you're interested, head over to my website. There's a link down below in the description. Email me, ask me any questions you want. There we go. That looks good. Okay, turn it over. Let's trim this up. Could use my trimmer, but I'm afraid the glue will gum it up, so that's why I'm using scissors. And these are my yucky scissors, so I don't care if there's, oops, if there's glue on those. All right, set that aside. Now what I'm going to do is clean that off. I'm going to use the dies, the fluttering dies, and this butterfly, and center him, and then cut it out using my cut and emboss machine. And I need to go get the other plates. Just a second. So you need the base number 1, a number 2 shim, a cutting plate number 3, your project, then another cutting plate number 3, and send that through. Go. Now pop this guy out and save it for another project. Oh, gentle, gentle. I'm going to save that butterfly for another project. Take this off carefully. Very carefully. And with these strips, you want to make sure you have plenty of adhesive if you are cutting it out, so then it doesn't stick up off of the window sheet. We're getting there. Now this is one purple tape I should have rubbed on my shirt or pants so it wouldn't be as sticky. There we go. Let me set that aside. I'm going to bring in, and I think this is Pool Party. Go ahead and cut this out. Run it through. And then I can set this down. No, I can't. Yes, I can. For now, set it down. I'm going to take Versamark, and I learned this technique from Phyllis, who's a fellow demonstrator. And I'm using Versamark all over my image. Just smother it. That's a technical term. Then I'm going to come in with clear embossing powder. Now I take the embossing powders out of the pots that it came with, and I put it in these containers so I can easily take my tweezers and just dunk it in. I don't have to worry about spilling. I don't have to worry about trying to get it back into the pot because it's already there. Just tap it off. That's good. put the lid back on because that would be catastrophic. And then bring in the heat tool. Let it warm up just a bit. And watch it melt. It's getting there. And you can see it melting, so you know when it's done. I'm gonna let it cool off just a bit. I'm gonna bring in the Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. So again, you've punched out your image, you covered it with Versamark, put it in clear embossing powder, heat it so it's melted, let it cool a little bit, put it into your embossing folder, bring back the Cut and Emboss machine, because now we're going to emboss. To emboss with 3D, you only need platform number 1, your project in the 3D folder, and then plate number 4. And you're gonna send that through. So this video is kind of like a 2-for-1 here. And then I'm going to carefully peel off. Carefully peel off. There we go. And you can use any 3D embossing. Isn't that pretty? It looks so neat with the flowers coming out. All right, let me put all this away and let's finish building that card. I used Smoky Slate cardstock for my base, cut at 5.5, folded in half, or scored at 4 1/4. Use your bone folder, get a nice crease. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. And this time I can use the regular size. And again, behind the strips so that they're concealed. I want to make sure that this doesn't get crushed in the mail. I think one more. So I'm trying to get around the design, the cutout. And I'm going to use the little guys for up here because it'll be hidden. It is really stuck on my finger. There we go. And I think one more will do it. Yep. All right. Take off the release paper. Almost. There, that's the last one. And again, kind of center. Let's be smart about this. Bring in my T ruler. And I think there will work. And then it'll give me space for a sentiment later on. So I'll take the butterfly cutout, add some Stampin' Seal, and just tuck this in. There you go. That's it. So I used my leftover strips 4 ways. One with an image on top, second one image underneath. Save my strips for a sentiment so I can add this to a card whenever. And then the 4th way was to use these strips as a spacer so I get the alignment just right on my cards. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I want to thank you for crafting with the Civil Engineer. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate it, and we'll see you all next week. Have a good day. Bye.